and welcome to this special edition of Federici News. Today, the main topic we're going to tackle is the meeting with the Honorable Pia Locatelli held on the 3rd December 2020. During her speech, the Honorable shared her own experience as a member of the European Parliament and spoke about how the European Union works and which advantages it gives to its members. Firstly, she described how her passion towards politics was born and the steps of the journey that brought her to become part of the EU Parliament. Secondly, Locatelli gave a brief presentation about the different governmental bodies. At the end, she highlighted the benefits of being a member of the European Union. Today, we have with us two guests that attended the meeting. They're going to tell us how it was and explain in a more detailed and complete way the topic discussed. Now I'll pass you over to our interviewer, Alice Perizzoli. Good morning, Alice.
Good morning, Bianca, and good morning to our audience. I'm here with our two guests that are going to answer some questions proposed by the viewers at home. Welcome to Luis Cheng and Chiara Rinaldi.
Hi, thank you for this opportunity.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Let's start with the first question. Can you briefly tell us something about Pia Locatelli and how she became a member of the European Parliament?
So, Pia Locatelli now lives in a small town, Chiuduno, in the province of Bergamo. She has a degree in economy and foreign languages. In her early years, she worked as a teacher, and then she worked in her family company, which produced ski wear. After some years working in the company, she took the company onto her shoulders and became the chief executive.
Exactly, and in fact, she was one of the female entrepreneurs in Valle Seriano.
She also expressed her passion in politics, women's rights, and also foreign languages.
And how were these passions born?
Well, she's been interested in politics since she was very little. In fact, she grew up in a political environment as her father was a mayor. And for the fact that she's interested in women's rights, it's because she basically grew up with 11 siblings, and for this fact she always wanted to be treated equally as them.
That's very interesting. And what about her passion for the EU?
This all started when she was a teenager. So every Sunday she used to go to mass every day, and one day in the churchyard there was a man distributing flyers of a European movement.
Right, and since that moment she started getting interested in European Union, and she started studying, talking to people about it, and in fact some years later, in 2004, she finally became a member of the European Parliament.
And did she explain how the government of the European Union is organized?
Yes, she explained the European Union's Parliament is composed of 705 members from 7 international political groups. So the members of the Parliament is not grouped based on their nationality. She also told us about the roles of each governing body. For example, for the European Council, it is the highest level of political cooperation between countries. It is composed by the heads or prime ministers of different European member states, and it gives directions and decides what are the political priorities to be discussed on.
And she also spoke about the Council of the EU that, together with the European Parliament, is the main decision-making body, and it gathers the ministers of the 27 member states, and it has 10 different configurations depending on what topic is discussed.
Then she gave us the information about the European Commission. At the moment, Ursula von der Leyen has the chair, and with other 27 commissioners from the European member state, one per member state. It has the legislative initiative, which means that they tell the European Parliament which political priorities are to be discussed. And she also told us about the Italian members in these two government bodies. For the European Council, we have Giuseppe Conte, and for the European Commission, we have Paolo Gentiloni.
Lastly, she spoke about different institutions. For example, we have the European Central Bank that basically controls the currency that we have, that is the euro, and also the monetary and economic policy. Then she also spoke about the two different courts. There are the Court of Auditors that controls the budget, and the Court of Justice that, like the name suggests us, as the judicial power.
That was a very well done and detailed explanation. Now, last but not least question. What does the European Union do for its own citizens and how has it been acting during this COVID pandemic?
So, first of all, she told us that the European Union is based on peace, values, and well-being. The Union guarantees respect of human dignity and human rights that are based on equality, rule of law, liberty, and democracy. And last but not least, it also guarantees a huge flow of benefits.
And in fact, these benefits are, for example, that you can travel within EU countries without having a passport. And this is thanks to the Schengen area, which basically means that you can travel freely wherever you want. Another example is that many countries have the same currency, which is the euro. And in fact, we don't have to worry about changing currency when traveling abroad. And last, we have the roaming regulation, which basically means that if you travel abroad, you don't have to spend money to call, because the connection is the same for every country. But there are different more benefits, for example, Erasmus or many other job opportunities and so on.
And what about the pandemic?
So the European Union has been very close to its member countries and also has set up many facilities to help the countries. For example, Next Generation EU, we are talking about 759 billion euros at disposal to member countries. About half of this amount of money given to the countries don't have the necessity to return them, while the other half are given as a loan with a minimum interest rate. For example, Italy has received 209 billion of euros for the sanitary emergency.
And for example, we also have MES, which basically provides money to invest in healthcare.
Well, we can say Europe has been playing a very active role during this hard time. Now, do you want to add something that you think is really important but we didn't tackle?
Yeah, I'd like to add something that she told us at the end of this meeting, and it's the fact that we need to be active citizens in the European Union. And for this reason, if we find a rule that is unacceptable or somehow wrong, we have to, before criticizing, study it and then bring it to the politicians in order to solve this problem and somehow change it.
Well, that was a very complete explanation of the meeting with Honorable Pia Locatelli. Thank you so much for being here and for having shared your experience with us. I hope the audience appreciated it as much as we did. Now I pass you over to Bianca.
Thank you, Alice. Now we are at the end of this special edition of Federici News. I really enjoyed it and I wanted to thank our guests Luis and Chiara. So we have to say goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow with another edition of Federici News.